Hello, everybody. Welcome to Joe the Lawyer. Today, we're going to have some fun. So, I found an Instagram account called Overheard Courthouse. And whoever runs this account, what they do is they put things that were stated in a courthouse or in a courtroom. They post them on this Instagram as a comment, as you can see right over here. And I find most of them hilarious. So we're going to run through a couple of them. I can tell you right now, I have not already read them. So we're going to read them together. I'm going to react. We're going to have a little bit of fun. Obviously, because I'm a practicing attorney here in Pittsburgh, PA. I do criminal defense, family law, personal injury. I truly get a kick out of these because I have heard some hilarious things in the courthouse. Okay. Maybe I'll mix some of that in, or maybe I'll do an episode where I just talk about the craziest stuff that I have seen or heard in the courthouse. So thank you for tuning in to Joe the Lawyer. I'm your host, Joe Pometto. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. I'm trying to get more subscriptions, more view time right now so that I can monetize this station. So go ahead and subscribe. It helps me. YouTube knows that you're watching, and YouTube will in turn reward me. All right, so let's dive into these statements. Overheard courthouse. This first one, defendant in custody arraignments trying to fire his court-appointed attorney. Defendant, I have the Sixth Amendment right to enjoy counsel, and I am currently not enjoying my counsel. Judge, I think your definition of enjoy is different than the United States Constitution definition. Request denied. Defendant proceeded to go pro se, which means without an attorney. Now, I like this one because this defendant is taking the word enjoy literally or taking it out of context, okay? Because enjoy can just mean having the benefit of. It doesn't actually always mean, that you are having a good time with something, all right? This guy was probably a sovereign citizen. Sounds like something a sovereign citizen would say. And yes, a sovereign citizen would then proceed to go pro se. All right, let's go to the next one. Judge, I've entered a plea of not guilty for you. Defendant, oh, no, no, I'm guilty. Judge, no, you're not. Let me explain why this happens, because people want to plead guilty at their first court date. There's literally no benefit to that, okay? Because if you pled guilty right away, then the judge would just have to sentence you on whatever, any and all the crimes that you are charged with. All right? That's why you need to get an attorney, you need to wait, and then the prosecution will offer you a deal. You won't have to plead to all of those. You might get a sentence set in stone, etc., etc. All kinds. Only thing that can come from you pleading not guilty initially is good things. You can, of course, decide to plead guilty later on. So this judge is doing this guy or girl a favor, and they don't even realize it. Basically, what he's saying is, hold on, hold on. You can plead guilty later. So slow your roll, slow down. We'll take care of it at a later time. The judge is literally doing the defendant a favor here. Okay, here's the next one. Video conferencing for trial readiness. Caller with bird chirping in the background. Judge, to the person with the bird chirping, can you please mute yourself so we can continue court? Defendant shuffles and then mutes his phone. All is now quiet. Judge, with sad look, now I miss the bird. Well, having a little background noise can sometimes be pleasant, especially while if you're doing something that's a little bit boring. All right, so this one, bond revocation hearing. Judge, this court isn't Burger King. You can't have it your way. All right, all right. I'm loving that. I truly enjoy judges that have a pretty good sense of humor. And I'll drop in a little story here. I was in a courtroom in Pittsburgh, and there was a defendant, and I can't remember if he was from Cleveland, I can't remember if he had a Browns shirt on or one of his family members did. The Cleveland Browns, obviously, of the NFL team, and here in Pittsburgh, we root for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the judge made a little joke like he was going to give him a harsher sentence because he was a Browns fan, okay? And everybody held their breath. The judge was like, "I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding," and then ended up cutting the guy a real big break. So I really enjoyed that one. And let me throw in, I'll give you one more story. We're going to go through a couple more here, and then I'll give you a story of one of my favorite judges and a little thing that he did that is, well, not quite similar to this, but is quite hilarious looking back. 2010. Defendant is told he must say one of either guilty, not guilty, or traffic school once he's in front of judge. Judge, you were caught with an illegal substance, marijuana. How do you plead? Defendant, traffic school. Judge, sir, that doesn't apply for you. Court laughs. Defendant, oh, sorry, guilty. All right, that's a failure of whoever prepared this poor guy. And I've seen that happen too, where attorneys tell somebody to say something and then they get in front of the judge and the judge asks a different question and something completely irrelevant comes out of their mouth. That can actually cause a lot of confusion. In this case, it's a little bit funny, but don't blame the poor defendant, the guy standing in front of the judge. They've never been through something like this before. Blame the attorney or the whoever told him to say these things and they said it incorrectly. All right, let's go to the next one here. During voir dire, and voir dire is the process by which the judge and the attorneys on a case question potential jurors who will sit on a jury to see if they are fair or unbiased. Judge, what are your hobbies? Which I don't really think is a relevant question in voir dire, to be perfectly honest, but okay. Juror, not being a juror. Well, that's one way to try to get out of jury duty. I don't think it's necessarily the best way, okay? A better way is probably to say, that, well, you got to be truthful when you're talking to the judge and going through these voir dires, all right? But if you have pressing personal matters, perhaps bring those up to the judge. Don't tell them not being a juror is not one of your hobbies, okay? We'll do one more, and then I'll give you my story about a legendary judge. During a pretrial, which is just a hearing or a conference that happens prior to the trial, very, very self-explanatory. Court, all right, counsel, how would you like to proceed? Defense, over the conference phone. Baby cooing and crying very loudly in the background. Your Honor, I'd like to request a continuance to July 11th. Counsel, court, counsel, that's a Saturday. Defense, oh, sorry, Your Honor. Court, it must be the sleep deprivation. And there, again, just a pretty cool judge with a sense of humor, which can really make very tense proceedings often be a little less tense and a little more enjoyable. So there was this judge in Pittsburgh. He was a minor court judge, which is we call the magistrates here. They do more minor offenses or early hearings in the criminal process, landlord, tenant, stuff like that. And when I was with the public defender's office, I went into his courtroom to train with another attorney. I was shadowing a senior attorney, and I hear this judge screaming at the top of his lungs from the courtroom, screaming. Me being a legal intern with the public defender, immediately fear was struck into my heart. I went and I found the attorney, and let me also add this. This judge was 6'5", likely close to 300 pounds, and a former career police officer. In Pennsylvania, minor court judges do not have to have a law degree. I actually think it's kind of cool. We have judges who are who were plumbers. Some of them were attorneys. Many of them were police officers. It's a nice way to top off a career. Anyway, this judge was terrifying in physical appearance and in the sound of his voice. And I go up to this lawyer and I say, what is going on here? And she goes, oh, that's just this judge's shtick. That's just his thing. She's like, go in and watch. So I go in and I watch. And there was a guy probably in his early 20s, and I can't remember what the case was for, standing before the judge. And the judge was screaming his brains out. I'm telling you, this guy was trembling where he stood, okay? A grown adult trembling. I mean, you got this 6'5" judge. These people have a tremendous amount of power screaming at you at the top of the lungs. And when the judge screamed at him for about 5 minutes, and then he returns to a normal voice and he says, well, you know what, though? He's like, I'm going to let you go with just a fine in a reduced offense. Okay, so this judge would strike terror into the hearts of the defendants, and then he would come back at them with a very lenient penalty. Okay, and that was sort of his style. And to be honest, I actually thought it worked pretty good, because if you're going to get a break, it's probably a good thing if, at the very least, and this is what we used to say in the military, you get chewed out. Okay, you're gonna get a break. So if you get chewed out, you get a little bit of sugar at the end of that vinegar. And I loved that judge. Unfortunately, he's retired, or maybe fortunately for him. But when I walked in there, boy, the first time, I was terrified. So I hope everybody enjoyed this episode of Joe the Lawyer. We covered the Instagram account Overheard Courthouse. Go ahead and check it out. You can check out my social media as well. I'll be doing more episodes like this just for fun, just to cut the tension a little bit, like some of these funny judges did. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. These are free ways to support the show. I'm trying to get monetized. I need more view time. So subscribe and share these videos with friends and family. All right, everybody, Joe the Lawyer out.